Where are you headed?
Lan Kwai Fong.
Yeah. It's Already Tomorrow in Hong Kong is a story about two star-crossed lovers who meet in Hong Kong one evening. What does this Soho stand for?
South of Hollywood.
I play Josh, an expat who's been living here for about 11 years, and Jamie plays Ruby, a Chinese-American girl. It's her first time in Hong Kong.
So what brings you to Hong Kong?
Work.
What do you do?
I design toys.
Well, that's cool.
And, you know, along the way, they start to get to know each other, and they kind of hit it off.
As we're walking, there's a major spark that happened. In this conversation, it shakes the foundation of both of us. They fall in love with each other while they're falling in love with Hong Kong, but the timing isn't really right.
Set and action. Sorry Tomorrow in Hong Kong is my first feature as a director. Going in, I was very, nervous, like any sort of first-time director would be, and I didn't know quite what to expect, especially filming my first film overseas in a foreign country in Hong Kong. It was very daunting going in, trying to plan the shoot in Hong Kong because of so many variables, like dealing with the weather, dealing with the humidity, dealing with triads, dealing with like not knowing how to put together a production.
Thank you. Am I supposed to eat this? Just dig in? Just dig into this?
Kosher.
Not kosher. I mean, it's rude not to eat this, I guess, right? I mean, we don't want to have rain during the shoot.
I don't want to have rain.
Try it. All right, I'm going for it. All right. Pretty amazing.
Yesterday we had a blessing ceremony where we sacrificed a pig and a couple PAs to prevent rain. And lo and behold, we got amber rain today on a day when we're shooting on a rooftop bar. So I would call that blessing ceremony fail. Yes. But we're hoping, and like the rain is letting down. Our first shot is supposed to go up in about an hour. So we're hoping for the best. That
Will we shoot on the rooftop?
I think we will.
That is the question.
Rose on?
Literally 2 minutes before we start rolling, it stopped raining, and then it stayed off for the rest of the night. Like, these are just the kind of sort of little lucky incidents that happened along the way that really felt like sacrificing that pig during the blessing ceremony really worked out.
This movie is entirely shot on location, and hopefully you'll be able to see it, feel it, taste it. That's the goal. So we're in these streets, we are with these people. A lot of these people are not actors, and it's a really amazing life experience. I hope it comes off on film. It's been great working here so far. I mean, just the interesting foods that we're eating and locations, like you could never fake this anywhere. This story could never take place anywhere but here.
I feel like it's any tourist's dream to film this movie because we really got to do everything that a tourist would do. Literally, we're hitting all the popular spots. The promenade was beautiful.
I've traveled all over the world, and I think Hong Kong has the most beautiful skyline I've ever seen. I mean, sometimes, like, we as the crew, we just stop and we're all just looking at it. Even the locals, I mean, it's just so damn beautiful.
Hong Kong is like Las Vegas meets New York on crack. It's a city that, truly a city that never sleeps. The food is amazing. Like, everywhere you turn, there's something to do. There's just so many people. Like, Hong Kong makes New York look like a small little town in the Midwest. Like, it is really incredible what Hong Kong has to offer.
But I feel like Hong Kong is having its moment, and and it's a really cool time to be here. And I don't think Western audiences have ever seen Hong Kong portrayed like this, and I'm really excited to bring this city, you know, overseas and let people see how beautiful and romantic it is.
This is where I take the ladies.
Super swanky.
Well, I've always wanted to make a movie in Hong Kong because I actually lived in Hong Kong for 5 years as an expat. I just always thought it's such a cinematic city, and I've always wanted to make a movie here as sort of like a love letter to Hong Kong. And I feel like we really shot the hell out of Hong Kong. We really featured all the best parts of Hong Kong, all the coolest like bars and restaurants of Hong Kong. And I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. This particular story is actually based on sort of like a real life encounter I had a couple years ago when I was visiting Hong Kong. Action! I was both like giddy behind the monitor and also teared up a little behind the monitor because, you know, this also being based on like a real life encounter, it was like deja vu. It's like, oh my God, it's like I'm watching my life unfold in front of me in this monitor.
This is her project, this is her baby, this is something that is happened to her in Hong Kong. You know, it's all based on true events.
I think this story is partly autobiographical for her. I mean, she's definitely taken some artistic license, but and she's letting us live in these characters and let us create our own characters, and she's not sticking to her own experiences, so that's nice.
When Bryan and I met, not to get too deep into our personal stuff, but you know, when we first met in Los Angeles and New York, we were never both available at the same time, kind of like our characters. If we made a sequel, it would be us getting engaged.
One of the perks of doing this script is that you know, I get to work with Jamie, and you know, as actors, we're always working away from each other, so it's a good excuse for us to actually be in the same city. The thing that's amazing about working with her is we know each other so well that if there's ever a false moment, you know, we can spot it right away, and we can help each other out with it.
We already know so much about each other in terms of temperament and how angry we get when we're hungry or how far we can push each other. We're really good with communicating with each other and trying to make the scene work and finding organic moments, and it's a luxury, and I think that was another thing that drew us to this project, was because it's so rare that we ever get to be in the same city together, let alone work together. So, you know, we'll take it if it could be both.
I really like working with real life couples because there's a chemistry, there's a natural chemistry there that you just can't fake or engineer. And it really showed and really came out in their performances, how just sort of natural they are with each other. After the speedy 14-day shoot, even though people sometimes complain about the humidity and the heat, I think in the end, everybody had a really great time making this movie here. You know, every single crew member that I brought from the US have commented how this is one of the best working experiences they've ever had in their lives. The actors came up and told me that they truly think they made a very special film here. What I took away from this experience was, the trick is to just assemble the best crew and cast you possibly can, and that cuts down on a lot of your job as a director.
This is my heart, this is my heart, this is my heart.